The 2020 Workplace Stress Survey reports that 79% of British adults commonly experience work-related stress. This has increased by 20% in the last 2 years. And whilst the impact of change wasn't included in the UK survey, research carried out by the American Psychological Association found that those employees experiencing recent or current change were more than twice as likely to report chronic stress, less likely to trust their employer, and more likely to leave the company. They were also 4 times more likely to report experiencing physical health symptoms. In this week's episode, we are looking at the impact of change on an employee's health and the knock-on effect to the success of a change initiative, and how those of us in change must start leading the way in delivering a more comprehensive strategy to support people through change to guard against stress and anxiety whilst embedding successful transformation. Change is inevitable. That goes without saying, but we have to make sure we don't underestimate the impact of these changes on our employees. If they damage the employee-employer relationship, stress levels increase and create an environment of negativity and cynicism. Organisations can undermine the very change they're trying to embed. Evidence shows that change is a primary trigger for workplace stress, and most of the time it's not even the change itself that brings about stress and anxiety, but the confusion, lack of direction and worries over what the change means, why it's being introduced, how and when it will happen. This results in reduced productivity, a knock to our bottom line, a drop in employee engagement, an increase in stress and anxiety, and also resistance to change. Individuals all cope with stresses at work in very different ways, and their personality, emotional intelligence, life experiences shape that. But it's also affected day to day through external factors, from personal relationships to a rough commute to work. Many years ago, I had a particularly rubbish drive to work that took me over 2 hours instead of the usual 25 minutes. By the time I got to my desk, I was already late for meetings and running behind with deadlines. So when I was sent an email telling me I had to attend new system training the following day with no prior notification, I snapped. The impact on my wellbeing and the knock-on effect of that particular system being embedded was affected. If you multiply this over the number of employees in an organisation, the different ways that people react to change and stress, and the varying external factors affecting an employee's mental health, how effective do you think that change really was? Change and leadership teams must understand the impact of change on our employees' well-being and must start taking remedial action and implementing change management strategies that support our people through change to guard against undue complexities, confusion, and increased workloads, all impacting a person's productivity and well-being. Organisations should be looking at how they can create an environment of trust and have genuine concern for how proposed changes affect people personally. When we support our people through change, when we include and consult with them early, we not only gain greater insights into how the change will work in practice, but our employees start to feel that they have control over what is happening, and they are more likely to commit to it. When we discuss with them the big picture and share the vision of change and co-define their role in it, we develop a sense of inclusion and community for change, creating motivation and support. When we have open, transparent and two-way communications with them, we show that we value their opinion and respect their input. We start to improve the cycle of change for them, and we see less resistance. Productivity and engagement isn't impacted, and we also see reduced absenteeism, turnover of valued employees and fewer heretics. A better change experience does mean a happier, more productive, more engaged employee. Managing change isn't about the system or the process, it's about the person and how that individual reacts when change happens. If we want to avoid increased stress and negative impact to our employees' well-being, we must look at how we can improve the change experience for them. If you only take one thing away from this today, please let it be this. When planning, designing and implementing change, put people first, because change is personal. It can shock and immobilise, and people will try to avoid it because it's stressful and it triggers the fight or flight mode in us. that stress is something that can be avoided if change is managed well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again next week.